Peace, 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 and love to the family. Team Osiris is definitely on the horizon. I'm here once again with my brother Geechee, my brother Carlos. We about to they love the first show, the West Africanisms in America. So today we're gonna do Africanisms in American art. And before we go in, I just want to share a quote from one of our elders, W.E.B. Du Bois. And I'm gonna share my screen with the quote. And this quote is referring to music, but it can refer to arts in general regarding our people or whatever. Little of beauty has America given the world, say the rude grandeur God gave himself stamped on her bosom. The human spirit in this new world has expressed itself in vigor and ingenuity rather than in beauty. And so by fateful chance, the Negro folk song, the rhythmic cry of the slave, stands today not simply as the soul of American music, but as the most beautiful expression of human experience born on this side of the seas. It has been neglected, it has been and is half despised, and above all, it has been persistently mistaken and misunderstood. But notwithstanding, it still remains as the singular spiritual heritage of the nation and the greatest gift of the Negro people. W.B. Du Bois. So today we're gonna go in on that, man. Just African American art in general, the influences that came from Africa, from music, the dance, the artwork, the clothing, just a short bit, whatever we can touch on. But peace, Geechee, peace, Carlos. What's up, bro?
Peace, brother. Peace, peace, peace. We as we talked about last time, it's pretty undeniable the Africanisms in American culture, and a lot of that rubbed off even on Europeans and a lot of the white people who own slaves. The cooking, the Southern cooking, all of that rubbed off, and they even use a lot of that. So it's really undeniable at this point as to where, people try to say that our culture has been destroyed, or that we don't, or Black people in America don't have a culture. And I wanted to read a quote of somebody who actually, one of these European scholars, who tried to say that, and how we could, it was a while ago, but we can easily refute him. He says, let me see. Before I quote him, let me find out where he said it. Okay, so let me show this book where it's from. First of all, I'm gonna show all this stuff on my sources. I'm gonna show what books I pulled it from, so the people can, go on Amazon or your local bookstore and pick up a lot of the stuff.
Okay, yeah, most definitely, bro.
So this one is this book right here is called Africanisms in Afro-American Language Varieties. And it's it's like a journal. It's like a bunch of essays from different scholars talking about what we talking about right now. Africanisms and Afro-American language varieties. And the man, his name was Nathan Glazer. He says, the Negro is an American and nothing more. He has no culture to value or protect. And this is the type of misinformation and hate they tried to spew on us. And we here to show and prove that that's a lie.
Definitely. That quote just got me heated. I ain't never heard it before.
I'm trying to, when did he say this? 1963. He said that in 1963. And this book alone will prove him wrong. So, but that's the way they was trying to act like we ain't have no culture or something. And that's a lie. That's a blatant lie. So if we want to move into the music, we could definitely do that. We can go from the beginning, or we can go from the end. We can go from the hip hop and move our way back.
Hey, we can either way, bro. We can go to hip hop and go back. That'll be dope. Hell yeah.
So with hip hop, from what I know about hip hop, it was started by what a Jamaican immigrant, right, in New York, right?
Yep, Cool Herc in the Bronx.
So he came with the Jamaican sound system, and that bring in the Caribbean aspect. So you know a lot of that flavor came with him as well as others.
They let us know he had a dance hall background.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And so when you get into hip hop, you got break dancing, b-boying, you got the MC, and that's referring to the call and response, you know, which is another African.
Yeah, they come out of the griots.
You see, so the MC is a griot, right, brother Geechee? Basically. Yep. So Nas and all them, they griots, they modern griots, you know, and you know, it's just an amazing thing to see the culture, you know, to pull from those African sources. Let me see what I got here. Let's see what I got here regarding music. Well, I could go into speaking of breakdancing, I can go into capoeira, which is Afro-Brazilian. It's an Afro-Brazilian. It's almost kind of like a dance, but it's also a form of self-defense. Mm-hmm. And these capoeiras, they used to use drums, but then you know, a lot of the Europeans were scared of that drum because of what it means to Africans in war and communication. So they start carrying around a bow, and then they changed it. You know, they kind of changed the instrument they was using, and that bow that they used came from Angola. They used to use the Congo drum, but then, like I said, with the drum being with the drum being connected to war, they stopped that, and so the capoeiras would use the bow, which also comes from Angola. You know, and southern Angola to Brazil. They brought that to Brazil. That bow is a musical bow. It's called a berimbau, if I'm saying that right. And they use it in capoeira, and they also, I believe, use it in candomblé, which is another Afro-Latino religion.
Yeah, they do. And I was looking over some stuff earlier. I ran across that.
And so, you know, that capoeira, like I said before, it's a dance, but it's also a form of self-defense, and it's also symbolic because if you know Congo cosmology, you know they talk about Kalunga and the upside down and the crossing the sea and all of these things. So the capoeira, their hands are like legs. They're upside down. That's symbolic of the Kalunga, which is a Congo cosmology, where the ancestors at. You feel me? On the other side, it's upside down. See what I'm saying? And so by them kicking upwards, it's called inverted kicks. By them kicking upwards and stuff, they upside down. They on their hands and their feet are upward. All that's Congo derived, and this is in the New World. So, you know, if we weren't Africans, why would we be doing these things that, you know, the brothers in Angola did, or the Congo, I would say.
Exactly. It's the reason when we got over here, they took our drums, man. You don't understand that.
I don't know. It's crazy.
It's like in gospel music, you know what I'm saying? When they took our drums, you know, in the North American South, you know what I'm saying, we came up with gospel. You know what I'm saying? The early gospel Negro spirituals was actually you know what I'm saying, messages, you know what I'm saying, trying to give people, you know, to give people pathways to run away. That's why I was talking about the River Jordan and running to the river and stuff, you know what I'm saying, because they can run up north for freedom.
Exactly. The message, like Brother Geechee said, though, those drums were messages, so they tried to stop that, and then we moved it. You know, we got a lot of ingenuity. We moved it into the vocal, in the gospels and all that.
I would say too. Also, when you say Jamaican, Jamaican toasting and stuff like that, that also Jamaican toasting also got the tradition from African anyway, but it also had got influenced by African American music. Not well, Jamaicans are African Americans, but North African Americans of the United States, they was influenced by their music too, by jazz and bebop. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying, and jazz music. You know what I'm saying? Scatting and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? All that play a part in rapping and toasting too. And also, why why me, I don't believe in mumble rap. Any such thing, ain't any such thing as mumble rap. Some people
Go in, get you.
when you say mumble rap, they just don't understand Southern dialects. You know what I'm saying? But you do have pretenders that be out here just, you know what I'm saying, just jumping on the wave and they actually are mumbling. But these actual artists like Migos, stuff like they're not mumbling. They actually rapping and saying shit. And then in the first place, if you want to say that, the first rapping and toasting, they were just speaking out nonsense. They wasn't saying nothing, they're saying anything that's making sense. So therefore the original rap was mumble rap, motherfucker.
Exactly. Exactly. And
Killed them, bro.
exactly what that brother said, man. Ain't no mumble rap. It's all style, you know. It's just it's a style. It's so
I'll be understanding certain southern rappers slang, you know, people just don't understand the slang and the dialect. You know what I'm saying? They actually speaking some real shit. Y'all just don't understand the streets and the terms and terminology. Even though half the time later on y'all steal the terminology, like words like trap, stuff like, you know what I'm saying? Certain shit like, now everybody trap. They saying trap in New York. Ain't no traps in New York.
Exactly.
we already know what's going on. Said our culture, we still here. We still, you know what I'm saying, African Creoles. We still here, and we got a strong culture, you know. I want to show this other book I got. Can y'all see me?
Yeah.
This book right here is powerful.
What's that? Fighting for Honor?
Fighting for Honor.
I'm about to put that in the cart right now.
TJ Obi. And you know, he go into, like I was saying, when you look at breakdancing, and then you look at capoeira, it look like the same thing to me, even though the capoeira is also used as a form of self-defense. It's also a dance. You know what I'm saying? And this brother go deep into that, but he also goes deep into different other forms of African martial arts. And I'm gonna show an article too, where he talking about can y'all see my screen?
Yeah. Well, no, not yet.
All right, let me share it. My bad.
Oh yeah, I would say James Brown kind of played a part in the formation of hip hop too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he did.
Like because Kool Herc said you know what I'm saying, even like he couldn't play dance hall in the Bronx. They wouldn't really like it would accept it like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, for like fours and parties and stuff, you know what I'm saying, with the youth. So he had no choice but to play James Brown and different music, like, you know what I'm saying, different United States African American music. And they kind of toasted over that music.
Well, that James Brown powerful.
Yeah.
Can y'all see my screen?
Yeah, I see Fighting the Shackles of Slavery.
Yeah, that right there is kicking and knocking. That's all African. It's actually African American, but we brought that art with us from from Africa. Be out, from West Africa, basically, and Central Africa.
They had some of that. They had some fighting styles in Haiti too.
Oh yeah, there's stick fighting right there. Seeing with the sticks,
Mm-hmm.
and then that tie into the baton twirling and all that as well. Which Mississippi is like the capital of baton twirling.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, so they got their stick fighting and all that. And my man here boxing. So yeah, this is a good article if anybody want to get deeper into.
I'm definitely about to check that out.
Kicking and knocking in the antebellum South. So yeah, we ain't have to, you know what I'm saying? We did learn European like pugilism and boxing and stuff like that, but we also had our own martial arts and all that. So
the people still practicing today.
To this day, like my man say, Wilder.
Yeah,
to this day.
To this day, you hear me? Now, let me read something real quick from that. Wrestling and headbutting, knocking it. We brought headbutting over here too. It's called knocking. So when they say kicking and knocking, they talking about we used our African form of kicks, and we also headbutted people too, and we boxed. So we could throw them hands and them feet. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We came over here with that, and they were scared of it too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They were scared of it too, my brother. Let me see. You know, in Senegal, the Wolof got lamb wrestling. The Igbo got I can't say it, but it's MGBA, like Ba. Yoruba got Gidigbo.
Yep.
And we just called it kicking a rap. In America, we called it kicking a rap or just wrestling. And it was unique from, like I said, European forms of pugilism. It was leg wrapping.
When you see us when you see our fighting style, there's more rhythm to it, man.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like a dance.
Mm-hmm.
Says knocking and kicking was a composite art that carried on a legacy of foot fighting and headbutting practices of Simbe Bajan and other Angolan peoples. Head fighting in North America may have been supported by the fact that headbutting was also practiced among some northern Angolans from the overlapping regions of Congo and the greater Loango coast. Knocking his headbutting, clashing the skulls. And they called it that because when they used to fight, that, you know, when you headbutt somebody, it's a knocking sound.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where the knocking came from. And it's a lot of older people from the South, like a man named Mike Cohen, remember seeing his grandfather, James Cohen, headbutt many people and knock them out with one blow. So yeah, we had a lot of that, man. We had a lot of that. But it's all art, man. The martial arts, that's an art. It's an art form to that. The way it looked, the skill, you know, the music, like I said, that the capoeiras would dance to. It's all art, and it's ours. Ain't no doubt about that.
Oh yeah, even to the I'm about to find a picture in a minute. The quilts.
Oh yeah.
Quilts that they sold along the Gullah Geechee coast and in Mississippi. You can
Yep.
see the same patterns in West Africa, in Ghana.
The mandate contributed a lot to those patterns too. Matter of fact, I'm gonna show you.
Okay.
While you looking for that, some of the patterns.
Something like the mud claw.
Yeah. Well, I got some clothing from. Let me see. This from Senegal. I got some clothing from Senegal. Let me see. This here, like this is what you call it, like a suit, basically.
Oh, that's fire too, bro.
See the patterns. Yeah. I got this with the basic, you know what I'm saying, the basic patterns in it. But this we had style,
Yeah.
and you know,
Look up Harriet Powers, bro.
yeah. I'm gonna look that up.
She was a famous quilt maker from Georgia.
Yep, those quilts. Those quilts is a part of our legacy. Let me see something.
Matter of fact, bro, remember Terrence, we were just talking about Athens. She from Athens.
Okay, word.
Let me see something.
Look up her quilt. It look just like African
How you spell her name, bro?
Harriet Powers.
Okay.
Just like Harriet Tubman, but still Powers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I heard.
Wow.
Yep, that name. She in one of she mentioned in one of these books I'm looking at. She famous for that.
Yeah, her work in the Smithsonian's.
Exactly. And it's got the patterns. Those African textiles.
Yeah, and she drew like she you know, of course she did a biblical mixed in with the biblical stuff, but
Exactly.
it had a lot of celestial, you know what I'm saying, type stuff in there too, like the moon and stars, and it
Right.
looked like Dogon stuff for me.
It
Mm-hmm.
really do, bro. I'm about to share the screen. It really do. As soon as it load up.
They do it in. They do those patterns in Bahia, Brazil. Where else they do it? Suriname.
Bro, it's look just like Dogon art. That's it right there.
Yeah.
Yep. There you go. There you go.
They look just like Dogon art when they talking about armor.
There you go. Right there.
That's powerful. And this the sister right here.
Harriet Power.
Oh yeah, that's powerful.
Mm-hmm.
You can't tell me that ain't.
Let's say right here, it say stitch pieces work demonstrating African and African American influence. They were notable for their bold use of these techniques in storytelling. So this is storytelling too, just like we're in West Africa, like the kente cloth.
Mm-hmm.
Check this out. Y'all see that?
Hold on.
What Hebrew quilt to that?
Yeah. Yeah, they ain't no Native American quilt, man.
Yeah, they ain't American. They ain't American. They ain't no dream catching that.
Miss Ruby Woods. They still doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that. Y'all see that? That's beautiful.
Look up the basket make the basket grass basket making the Geechee Gullah basket making.
Peachy color basket. Yeah, you can't tell me that ain't
We
African.
got artifacts. We got artifacts out here.
Yep. And
African artifacts in the Americas.
you said Harriet Powers, her work is in the Smithsonian.
Oh yeah. It's all over the place, but like a lot of her, you know, so they got her, you know what I'm saying? She's in the you know, the Smithsonian Institute. So, you know what I'm saying? I guess they got some type of display of it.
Mm. Wow, wow. I'm looking at this. It's crazy. These baskets you talking about?
Yeah.
Is this it?
Yeah, that's those right there.
Yep.
Wow. Look at the patterns. Look at how detailed that is.
Mm-hmm.
They got
They used to make dolls. They used to make dolls like this too.
Wow.
That is not a Hebrew pattern.
No,
Oh man.
them bags is for rice collecting. You can't collect wheat and barley with that.
Mhm.
We taught them how to cook that rice, man. The
Mhm.
rice coast. But yeah, it's so many ways you can go with this art here. You know, with the
Yeah, man.
African art.
From music to pottery, quilts, martial arts, dancing. Hey, Geechee, man, I seen you building on a post about it, man. Can you please explain twerking right quick, bro?
Oh snap!
Oh man, hold on.
I seen Geechee going in. I seen Geechee going in on somebody's post. So I said, bro, I gotta get. So we changed it to art. I said, bro, I gotta let Geechee go in on that, man.
Oh yeah, hold on. Let me get into it. Let me say, because somebody had made a post about, it is, it is true they do over sexualize everything we do, even like our dances and stuff like twerking. You know what I'm saying? But even though, you know what I'm saying, twerking always was a sexual type of dance. It was a, you know what I'm saying, it was a fertility dance. You know what I'm saying? We celebrated, we did that in West Africa. We
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
celebrated our women's body and stuff. Women love themselves. You know, it's where we from. You know what I'm saying? And this article I heard was article on twerking. It's a link to Africa to African diaspora. You know what I'm saying? Historically and currently, similar styles of booty shaking are found throughout the continent of Africa as well as African American diaspora. Similar styles of dance are known as mapoka in Ivory Coast, Lumbuel in Senegal, Dito Lobanya, a dance in Sethonyo language in South Africa, and other styles can be found in Tanzania, Southeast Nigeria, Uganda, and Kenya. That's just to name a few. So he's even dances in Somalia. They call it
Yep.
the Nico. You know what I'm saying? This style of pelvic and hip isolated dancing is known as perio and sandungio, associated with reggaeton from Puerto Rico. Twerking can be said to be indirectly linked to African cultural dancing without any direct connections between people from Africa. Without knowledge of its historical and cultural roots in New Orleans and links to a diaspora style of dance, the trend is discussed in the historical ways. Twerking, like many cultural traditions or expressive dances associated with marginalized groups, as become stimulized and racialized and gendered ways that often associate those who perform the dance, uh, uh, primarily girls and women of color with venient behaviors. Twerking has been linked to the dancing whining, which is defined as thrusting or rotating the pelvic girdle in rhythmic pattern. You know what I'm saying? So they try to, so they try to make it seem like, oh, it's just, what I'm saying, have to do with girls, just, what I'm saying, it's wild and out and all that. No, it's just a cultural thing.
And see, that's another reason people get confused about who they is, bro. Because a lot of our culture get demonized here.
Yeah.
So start looking at it like something's wrong with it. Like when I
Like
was wrong,
young girls, like even in West Africa, young girls, little kids dance like that, but they ain't looking at them like lusting at them or nothing.
yeah, it's culture.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely a culture, and it's a disconnect, like you said over here, where it's looked at. They looking at it sexually, but dancing is a form of expression.
Mm-hmm.
They expressing themselves. That move, that beat moves through your body. That's how they express themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And we, like we was talking about earlier, We we the origin of all of this American music. That's us.
Mm-hmm.
I got
Even Fela Kuti, he called his dancers twerkers.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Even like the term twerking as well too. It was in New Orleans too. The word traveled to New Orleans, so it was in New Orleans for a long time as well.
I want to show this.
I'm streaming this on Facebook and YouTube, y'all. So
it's
gonna spread.
This graph with y'all.
Okay.
Y'all can see that?
Yeah, it's up now.
So that graph is just showing the connections, like Geechee was talking about with techno and electric and stuff, and how that came from house and how that came from, and it's just going up a tree, showing all of the music that we created and the origins of where that came from, all the way back to the 1600s. And even before that, if you want to go back to the continent of Africa, but as far as America, ragtime, brass bands, New Orleans style,
bluegrass,
yeah,
shit, country music, shit,
country, folk, gospel, like you were saying, the choir,
rock and roll, shit. Rock and roll was the term rock and roll was created from out of St. Louis. Chuck Berry.
Mm-hmm.
Chuck Berry created the actual term rock and roll. You know what I'm saying?
Bebop, jazz, of course, like we talked about last time.
Bro, you gotta send me that family. You gotta send me that. That's
yeah.
Cold.
I'm definitely gonna send it to you. I'm gonna send it to you. I'm gonna send it to you.
Yeah, that's a cold family tree there.
Yep.
Even with the like we was saying, even with we was saying earlier, going from music and going back, and if we started hip hop, even them old gospel groups was rapping, basically.
Right.
How they were getting their message across.
Mm-hmm.
Rapping.
That's culture we brought with us.
Mm-hmm.
They been rapping.
Sure. What's his name? What's the brother name? It's gonna come to me.
Yeah, when they was talking about when you talk about the first rappers, what was James Brown doing with it?
Rap, yeah, same style Mystical used today.
Same
exact style, bro.
That man was rapping, if you ask me.
I tell you, when I was young, when I was a big No Limit head, my pops walked in the house one day. I was listening to Mystical. I was young. He said, "Boy, what you listen to, James Brown?" I said, "That ain't no fucking like
that." Hey, it do sound like James Brown though, for real.
That's when he started going, yeah. He said, "Boy, what you listen to, James Brown?" I said, "Nah."
The way he be hollering and rapping, same thing James Brown was doing.
Same exact style, bro.
Yeah.
He just put it on hip hop beat.
Yeah. We even brought bottle trees.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, that's Islamic. You know what I'm saying? To capture genes.
Mm-hmm. We got them bottle trees. Here go one right here. I believe this was South Carolina. Let me share my screen. I believe it was South Carolina. You see it?
Hold on. Yeah. The bottle. Oh, man.
See that there? Bottle trees. And they had, like the brother Geechee was saying, they got the Islamic aspect. Yeah. And it's got multiple roots. It's got
it come out Tariq, like the Tariq and the Islamic type shit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was fused together because, like, they were Islamic anyway, and the Falani. But they, but the you know what I'm saying, the concept was the evil spirit supposed to, the bottle supposed to catch evil spirits and the sun supposed to disintegrate them.
See, I ain't know the meaning behind the bottle. That's dope.
They do that on in the West Indies too. Guyana, all that.
Like I say, man, this series of shows we doing, it's only the second one. It's so much stuff we can get into that, man, we could do a show. We really could do a show about this every day if we really just sat down and if I just sat down and got in all my books, man, we could do a show about this subject every day.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Something new.
Even the blues could we just do the blues as a show alone, just on the blues itself.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh man, we do a whole blues show.
And its connections with Molly, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's griot too.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, cause you go over there, they playing the instrument while they telling the story, singing.
That blues could definitely be his own show.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean the
Even
proof.
the banjo, that was an Igbo instrument.
Right.
Called the halam or the akanti. You know, it was played by Wula Fula and Mandinka too as well. What's the famous blues? What's the famous blues singer? The dude they say he sold his soul to the devil.
Are you talking about the man at the crossroads?
Yeah,
Robert
yeah.
Johnson.
Robert Johnson. Yeah, Robert Johnson. Yeah. Yeah, he was rapping. Shit. His music.
Yeah. Even that crossroads concept is an African concept.
Yeah, he basically sold his soul to Eshu.
You see? The crossroads.
Well, what they call it the devil, but yeah, that's the shoe, you know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He opening them doors.
Yep.
Creativity.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. One got there in Voodoo and Papa Legba. Yeah, he got to open the gate.
Yeah. You already know what it is.
Mm-hmm. Cause
They just got bastardized over here and they said the devil. But you know, in Africa, we weren't looking at that like no devil. That's just something you got to pay your dues. You got to pay your ancestors.
Yeah, that was just the religious part. Cause even Robert Johnson himself, he wasn't religious or nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And he just, you know what I'm saying? Because the church kind of done blues at that time period.
Yeah. Wanted to demonize it.
Yeah. Because it had a lot of African spiritualisms in it. Had a lot of hoodoo in it. Well, blues is hoodoo. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. Hoodoo is the blues and jazz is voodoo.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Coming out of New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? Because the blues was created in the Mississippi Delta.
Right.
And then jazz was created in New Orleans. And then you had ragtime. Ragtime was a kind of a South Carolina thing.
Yeah, I think
It was popular in St. Louis too, like Great Migration and all that. Like
the migration.
St. Louis became like kind of a mecca of ragtime after a while.
Mm-hmm. That's the actual fact.
You just went in, bro. You put it. I didn't know that. That's how it came together.
Mm-hmm. Even like wait till you hear some Malayan blues. You can put that up next to some American blues. You be like, man, this sounds so similar, just different languages. The sound is just so similar. Even the director, the guy, he's a fan of Malayan blues. Martin Scorsese, the creator of the Goodfellas, he said he
Yeah.
swear the blues and Malayan blues or linked. They got to be, you know what I'm saying, direct descendants from, you know what I'm saying, or cousins.
Yeah, it gotta be. It ain't no denying it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that blues show.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we'll do a whole show on it.
Yeah. I'm probably gonna play some blues when we done with this.
Mm-hmm.
See, look, and see, I ain't gonna get into too much, but just cause y'all said that, I just gotta read this one part of this article.
Mhm.
Share my screen right quick. Where it go? Okay. Wrong one. I shared the wrong one. Hold on.
Like Ali Farka, that dude go.
Man, yeah, Toure, Ali Barker Toure. Yeah, that's one of my favorite artists.
Yeah, him and his son.
Yep.
Right here. The African influence in the blues is undeniable. The poetic structure of many of the verses is similar to the West African tradition of AAB poetry. The story-like verses carry on the oral traditions of African cultures. As Deja points out in her article, many of the cultures of Africa made and performed on instruments similar to what can be found in America. Instruments like the balafon, which became the xylophone, the lute, drums, aerophones, and fiddle-like instruments would make the assimilation of this new music more transitional. Other performance practices are undeniably African as well. The earliest blues music can be heard in the call and response type music known as field hollers. Slaves would communicate and ease the doldrums of their labor through improvised, here we go again, call and response songs. As these songs were sung during work, they were often unaccompanied and completely original in content. On southern plantations, the roots of gospel and blues were introduced in work songs and field hollers based on the musical forms and rhythms of Africa. And that's all I'm gonna give right now on the blues.
Oh yeah. I would say, brother Carlos, you ever heard of Tomani Diabati,
Oh yes, I have.
famous choral player,
Oh yeah, Cora.
and
I love Cora.
his cousin Sana Barth.
Yeah, I think you put me on her. I think you
Yeah,
put me on.
she the first female choral player out of a griot family.
Right, right. I do remember you because we was talking about Tumani and you had mentioned her, and
Yeah,
I had never heard of her, and I
yeah,
checked
she
her out.
cold.
She official.
Yeah, she cold. And she makes her music, but like more like modern music.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, you can't. It's undeniable that that Malian blues that you know it's undeniable, man.
Mm-hmm.
And all of that stuff in the areas we came from manifested itself in the Americas, in different ways and in different regions, of the South and things that moved up north with the Great Migration. It's all, side by side. It's like a mirror.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Oh yeah, it was one quote I wanted to. Let me see if I can find this quote that this person had said. Let's see if I can find it. But it was an awesome quote. Oh, okay. They was talking about Africanisms versus continuities, and they were saying Africanisms can be placed into two different categories: retentions and continuities. An African retention is a cultural element that is identical or nearly identical with an element in the African source culture in both form and function. On the other hand, an African continuity is a modified version of an African cultural element or foreign element that has been modified to conform to an African cultural pattern. So, we had Africanisms that was in retention that we kept, and then the things that they tried to erase, we modified them.
Yeah.
For example, like the Orishas and the Catholic saints. Some stuff we modified and some stuff we never gave up. Just depend on the situation. We very flexible people. We can adapt very well to whatever circumstances need be.
Yeah, they decreolized us.
Yep. But, I mean, with that being said, I ain't got no more unless we want to go. Let me show some books that the audience could get. Brother Malik, you still there? Or did he step out for a minute?
Oh, yeah, I'm here, bro. I'm here. Right to step out for a sec.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, I'm gonna just pretty much show the books that the audience could get, if they want to dive further into the subject, and then that's all I got.
Okay, yeah, we show the books. We end it like that, man. Cause like I say, man, if we really want to go in on the subject, we'd be in here for hours, bro.
Yeah, for real.
Here go one. I know a lot of people familiar with that one.
Service of Allah, yes, sir.
And it just shows for the Muslims that did come over here. It shows how they tried to keep. It was hard for them to keep Islam though. Only certain things stayed Islamically, but a lot of the slave. They interviewed a few surviving slaves, and they attested to the fact that some of their ancestors had prayed 5 times a day, and they would face the east and mumble some stuff. They didn't really know what they was doing. It was hard for the Islam to get passed down in the Christian country. So
yeah,
but that speak on a lot of that. Here go another one right here.
Slave religion. Okay.
Slave religion, the invisible institution in the antebellum South. This an old book, but it still got some jewels in it.
Oh yeah, I definitely got to get that.
Here go another one. This one talk about the bottle trees and the textiles and with the African quilts and patterns and stuff. It also speak on religion too. Flash of the spirit. It got a lot of pictures in here too for people who like visual stuff. And then, like I showed before, fighting for honor. If you want to know about our African realized martial arts, that's ours. This is our stuff. This is not karate. This is not Muay Thai or no Asian forms, which is respectable. This is ours.
We need to start taking pride in that, man.
Exactly. This one I showed already, Africanisms and Afro-American language varieties. And this proves the case that that our slang and our ebonics that is not unintelligent or nothing like that. It's just another form of language, AAVE and all that. And go another jewel.
Maroon society.
I don't know how they got down. It's a thick.
You got that work over there.
It's a thick one too. It got all the accounts of slave masters being scared, and some of the Native Americans we linked with, and some of them that the Europeans used to hunt us down. And this one I referenced last time, Africanisms and American culture. So, all of those books are out there. So whenever y'all want to dive deeper into it.
Oh yeah, y'all ever heard of Bilal Muhammad, the Bilal Muhammad document?
Was that the Quran or the verses he wrote?
Yeah, he was a slave from the Sablo Island of Georgia.
Yeah.
He was like he wrote one of the first manuscripts from the Quran, you know what I'm saying, that was in the United States.
He memorized that too.
Mm-hmm.
He knew that, he knew that by heart.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, him. It's a few of them. I hate to keep babbling, but it's a few of them.
Man, It's a book that I can't find right now to show, man.
And it's a further research on Bilal's life and his influence upon both American Islamic literature to the Gullah dialect of English needs to be carried out in order to present a complete picture of the unique American Islam author.
Hmm.
So he was writing it like in a like from a Gullah dialect aspect in Arabic.
Right. I got some quotes from a lot of they ancestors. You talking about Bilali Muhammad? You had Yaro Mahmoud,
Mm-hmm.
Ali Bilali, Omar Ibn Said, Lamin Kibi, and Job what they called him? Job bin Solomon, but his Muslim name was Ayub. What was his Muslim name? Ayuba Suleiman Diallo.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is Charles Wilson Peel. He said Yarrow owns a house and lots and is known by most of the inhabitants of Georgetown. He professes to be a Mohammedan and is often seen and heard in the streets singing praises to God. That was in 1818, a quote from Charles Wilson Peel. I got another one from Charles Ball in 1837. He said, I knew several people who must have been, from what I have since learned, Mohammedans, though at that time I never heard of the religion of Muhammad. There was one man on his plantation who prayed 5 times every day, always turning his face to the east when in the performance of his devotion. And then this lady named Katie Brown, who traced her lineage back to the people you talking about. This was in 1940. Talking about Bilal.
Yeah.
She say Bilali and his wife Phoebe pray on the bead. They was very particular about the time they pray, and they very regular about the hour. When the sun come up, when it's straight overhead, and when it's set, that the time they pray. They bow to the sun and have a little mat to kneel on. The beads is on a long string. Bilali he pulled the bead and he say Balambi Hakabara Muhamdu. Phoebe, she say Amin, Amin. That was his descendants recalling what they used to do as far as like prayer and rituals.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, some of that.
He was Mandy too. He was from Sierra Leone.
Mm-hmm.
He had to be Mandinka.
Yep.
It's powerful.
Wish I had the pictures of. I got pictures of them. It's on my phone though.
Yeah, it's a book, man. I can't. I don't know where my book at. I was gonna show it. It's a heater too, man.
Yeah.
But I got the title is A Desolate Place for Defiant People. The Archaeology of Maroons, Indigenous Americans, and Enslaved Laborers in the Great Dismal Swamp.
Ooh,
It's got archaeology. It's got some of the pottery they were using and all, man.
yeah. I'm gonna have to add that to my cart right there. It's on Amazon.
Yeah, it's on Amazon.
Yeah, I need that.
It's a desolate place for defiant people.
Mm-hmm. There's also plenty of different art forms, like all throughout the Americas too, like South America, Cuba, you know what I'm saying, Central America, all,
Yeah,
all,
all
the
over.
different African expressions.
We're gonna have to do a show on religion too, y'all, one day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. We can do that after the blues.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, that religion, that's gonna be a monster, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
But yeah, man, we've been on an hour. We're gonna go ahead and wrap this up.
Okay.
We just wanted to come on, and we've been saying we was gonna do part 2 for a while, but schedule's been conflicted, so
Yeah.
we want to come on and do something for the family, drop some sources.
Yeah. I still got to do that part 2. Of the origins of the term Moor. You know, so even
More.
even in that part 2, I did the first on Tiffany show, but on here I'm still kind of do a recap of what I went through, and you know what I'm saying, go on and complete the you know what I'm saying, complete the presentation.
Shit, yeah, we can do, man. We about to do that tomorrow night. I'm gonna see what I got going on. We can definitely do that.
Okay.
I know brother Amir hit me a minute ago. Matter of fact, in the chat on Facebook for this video, he said we're doing the Fula show. So later on tonight, couple of hours, we can do the Fulani show, man.
Okay, bet.
And Carlos, you welcome to come on the panel for that show because I'm gonna be learning just like you. I know they about to go in.
I already know you. I'm trying to learn something. You did.
Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna wrap that up. Peace and love to everybody. Team Osiris on the horizon. And until next time, till later tonight, we out.
Peace.
Peace.